Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So, inshallah, this week we are starting a new topic under the same book, that is the book of prayer. In this topic, we will treat the pillars, the obligatory act, and the sunnahs of prayer. That is arkan as-salati wa wajibatuha wa sunanuha. Now, let's start with muqaddimah, preface. أيها المسلم إن الصلاة عبادة عظيمة تشتمل على أقوال وأفعال مشروعة تتكون منها صفتها الكاملة فهي كما يعرفها العلماء أو يعرفها العلماء أقوال وأفعال مفتتحة بالتكبير مختتمة بالتسليم. As a Muslim, we should know that prayer is one of the greatest acts of worship that comprises prescribed rites and actions from which its complete form is composed. Prayer, according to the definition of the scholars, they said prayers or prayer can be defined as rites and actions that begin with takbiratul ihram, that is Allah Akbar, and end with taslim, that is assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, then we should know that these rites and actions that are in prayer, they are divided into three categories. Among them are pillars, arkan. Among them are wajibat, that is the obligatory act, and among them are sunnah, that is the sunnah, the recommended or the sunnah acts. Now, what is the meaning of arkan? What is the meaning of wajibat? What is the meaning of sunnah? For arkan, إذا ترك منها شيء بطلت الصلاة سواء كان تركه عمدا أو سهوا أو بطلت الركعة التي ترك منها وقامت التي تليها مقامها كما يأتي بيانه إن شاء الله. If any of the pillars is left out, the prayer becomes invalid, whether the omission was intentional or unintentional. If the omission occurred in one rak'ah, that rak'ah is invalid, and the following one takes its place and will be explained later, inshallah. Then for the wajibat, wajibat is the obligatory act. إذا ترك منها شيء عمدا بطلت الصلاة وإن كان تركه سهوا لم تبطل ويجبره سجود السهو. For the obligatory one, if the obligatory act is left out intentionally, the prayer becomes invalid. But if it is left out maybe unintentionally or accidentally, then the prayer doesn't become valid. Rather, it will be what? It will be filled with sujood sahab, that is the prostration of forgetfulness. That is for wajibat. And for the sunan, لا تبطل الصلاة بترك شيء منها ولا عمدا ولا سهوا ولكن تنقص هيئة الصلاة بذلك. For the sunnah acts, leaving out of any of the sunnah act does not invalidate the prayer, whether it is intentional or it is unintentional. But the form and the perfection of the prayer are diminished as a result of what? Of maybe omitting it. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى صلاة كاملة بجميع أركانها وواجباتها وسننها. And we know that as the Prophet is our role model, so Prophet performed the complete prayer, fulfilling all the pillars, the obligations, and sunnahs. That's why Prophet says in one of the hadith, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli." Pray as you have seen me praying. Now, with this, we will start with the arkan, that is the pillars of salat. The first one mentioned here is al-qiyam fi salat al-fariḍah. Al-qiyam, that is standing in the obligatory prayer. That is the first pillar of prayer. All of the pillars that we have is 14. Then the first one is al-qiyam fi salat al-fariḍah, standing in the obligatory prayer. Okay? So, and we have a lot of hadith, we have a lot of ayah that back this. Now, note, فإن لم يقدر على القيام لمرض صلى على حسب حاله قاعدا أو على جنب. As one who cannot stand due to illness, then he can pray according to his ability, maybe sitting, maybe lying on a side. ومثل المريض الخائف والعريان ومن يحتاج للجلوس أو الاضطجاع لمداواة تتطلب عدم القيام، وكذلك من كان لا يستطيع القيام لكسر سقف فوقه ولا يستطيع الخروج. So it is said that the same ruling applies to the one who is sick, or the one that is fearful, or the one that is unclothed, and those who must sit or recline for the what? Because maybe they are having some medical reasons that prevent them from standing. Okay. And also, this same rule is applicable to the one who cannot stand because of a low ceiling above him, or is unable to go elsewhere except that place. Okay. So you can see that all these are maybe critical conditions. So if one is in critical condition like this, he can sit according to his position, or he can observe prayer according to the position of how he is at that moment. But for the one who is able to do prayer while standing, it is a must for him to do it while standing. Um Making it or doing it otherwise, intentionally or unintentionally, can invalidate one prayer.